guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Oh, 239 kilometers per hour, slight down slope. That is the top speed of this BMW. Yes, it will not go any further. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the BMW X6 xDrive30d and straight away I'm going to be opening the engine bay. It's as easy as that. There it says twin power turbo, BMW written right there. Obviously you've got strut braces on the inside and this engine bay can accommodate bigger engines of course because the engine bay is humongous. There's insulation there and this is where the washer fluid actually goes. So why are we reviewing the X6 right now? Well, I've already done a vlog on the X6 in India with the xDrive40i variant. But you know what? This guy is going to get an update very soon. Before that, let's relish the beautiful design before BMW actually ruins it by making the grille even bigger, the lights slimmer and all that which you have seen in the X7 already. Let's come to the lights straight away. These are BMW LEDs. These are not laser lights. Laser lights actually have a blue tinge on the inside. This one does not have it because these are BMW LEDs. With the laser lights, it can project up to half a kilometer ahead. That's crazy. This is the indicator, of course, and these are all LED lights. Now, this grille is amazing. You know why? Because it's closed at the moment. It actually opens and closes depending on the need to breathe. And then you can also get this illuminated with the iconic glow kidney function as an accessory, of course. Front camera is here, ADAS panel right there. There are cameras there as well for ADAS and ADAS works fantastically well. This car has a slew of ADAS functions. It looks fantastic in this red color. In fact, you won't believe this, that this car is having M bits, but this is not the M Sport because in Germany they do not offer the M Sport as such. They just give you the M kit which you can purchase separately or something of that sort. From the side it is almost 5 meters in length. The wheelbase is almost 3 meters in length and then obviously sloping roofline because this is essentially an X5 whose coupe version is this particular car. So that sloping roofline actually eats into the practicality of the cabin. Let's go to the wheels. Now there are a lot of wheel options. In fact, you can get 11 wheels. 11 different designs for the wheels. This happens to be 21 inches, starts from 19, goes up to 22s. The size of the tire, 275 40 21s. You can see red colored brake calipers with M logo or M badging on the inside, M written on the wheels as well. These wheels are like really delicious. There you can see the suspension. It gets adaptive dampers, M badging here as well, camera here, plenty of cameras. In fact, at night, it actually gives you some welcome sort of a light which comes out from here. You approach the car will automatically unlock. You go away from the car will automatically lock itself. So that's a cool bit. In fact, this is the key of the vehicle. This is to unlock the car, this is to lock the car, this is to open the boot of the vehicle. And this is, I think, to turn on the hazard lights. Yeah. And then obviously you get the M colors here as well. So M, this blue color is for BMW. This red color is for Motorsport. And a fusion of both is in the center, which happens to be purple right here. Okay, and obviously it's got request sensors on all the doors, so you just put your hand in and obviously it unlocks. Rear tires are massive, supercar size tires, 315 35 21s. No issues with the low profile here in Europe, of course, even on the worst of roads. So that's a good bit, obviously. In fact, it says M right there on the red brake calipers. Huge disc size as well. In fact, look at the size of the tires. That is massively massive, insanely crazy massive. You can see this sensor is on this side purely because this car obviously has got, self park and stuff like that. Anyways, let's get to the rear straight away. For starters, the door opens decently wide. Quality levels are absolutely impeccable. And you can see the door pockets also big enough. This thing actually illuminates at night, this M logo. And the seat incline angle is fine. But you know what, the seat is lower because of the sloping roofline, which obviously affects the underside support. So here I get inside and I realize that underside support is quite poor. Legroom and kneeroom is not that great because the seat is all the way behind, so we're going to shift to the other side. Here you can mount your iPad if you want. You get a USB-C charging socket there. In fact, you get heating function for the rear seats, some amount of storage here and there, and a 12-volt charging socket as well. I would have said they should have given USBs, but you've got one as well as two USB charging sockets here. You've got some storage space here as well. Let me shut the door. Listen to this, okay? Proper thud. Now, there is a hook here, but unfortunately, there's no handle to hold on to anywhere, which is very disappointing. This does not get height adjust function. The seatbelts do not get the height adjust function, which is again disappointing. The dashboard looks really very nice, but with the facelift, obviously, they're going to change stuff and make it in line with the iX, which means the screens will change, the UI will change and all that, which is actually a good thing. Anyways, there is this sort of a hump in the center. So let me come to the other side, and here you can see Legroom and kneeroom is good enough, but headroom is just about adequate for someone as tall as me. You've got light placement here on the top as well. Seats are super comfy and nice because these are BMW individual seats. Yes, that's right. Fully customized ones. Here, you get some storage space below. In fact, you've got twin cup holders here as well. And then you can pull this to recline this 20, 40, 40. So this is how it actually reclines. That's a good thing. In fact, let me just recline this here to increase the boot carrying capacity. But if you really care about boot carrying capacity, you would get the X5 and not the X6. So comfort levels are okay, not that great. Window area is decent. In fact, the window rolls down completely here. Look at this. Yeah, complete roll down. It doesn't atco at the bottom 20%, which is a nice thing. Let me get out from here. In fact, you can see this is blinking red because if it senses that there's someone in your line of path, it tells you do not open the door. So that level of attention to detail is absolutely crazy inside this car, and I'm going to struggle here because there's a slope. So let me just shut the door. Shuts with a proper thud. Really well put together car. In fact, build quality and the level of quality inside this cabin is absolutely impeccable. Okay, here is where the fuel actually goes in, and this is where AdBlue actually goes in. So we're just going to shut this because Faisal Khan's fingers of truth are very disappointed with this fake stuff happening here. Why do we need such fake stuff? It's absolutely unnecessary. BMW is the only car maker which is not doing fake exhausts until now, because the new X1 has fake exhaust. This one does not. You can see the real exhaust right there. In fact, it's there on both the sides. Let's see the underbody. Massive tires. Okay, looks so nice and soothing. Ground clearance is ample enough as well. And sort of a diffuser treatment, rear parking sensors. In fact, there is the reverse parking camera as well. Says X6 here. Now this is the rear fog light, and this happens to be, I believe, the reverse light. Lights are really very nice, look beautiful at night because this is L-shaped light, very bright. But right now it's very sunny, so you can't really see that light. I think the reverse light should be this. This should probably be a dummy or a reflector. Who knows, who cares? xDrive30d written right there. There's this subtle spoiler treatment as well. And there's this sort of aircraft style spoiler as well. Shark fin antenna. Let me open the boot. I just press a button and there it opens. Obviously power tailgate. So the boot is 65 liters smaller when compared to the X5. So this is 580 liters. Parcel shelf you can fold. In fact, below this there should be a spare wheel, but here in Germany there isn't one. There's some storage space here. High visibility jacket is mandatory in Europe, so we've got one of our own. First aid kit is placed right there along with the fuse box as well, and then there is some hook right there, says X also. So it seems like a very practical car. 12-volt charging socket, but not really. You know why? Because unfortunately the boot isn't as practical as the X5. You know what? This parcel shelf actually comes out and slots properly in here. So they've put a spot for that as well. So that is some practical bit inside this cabin. Power tailgate, I press a button, there it shuts. Very nice, very smooth. Okay, now let's get to the front because there are a few interesting bits. You can see this is the blind spot monitor. It has got a slew of ADAS functions which work fantastically well. Before that, let me remind you, if you notice, the rear windows are actually tinted so that sun does not come inside and blind you as much, which is a good touch. But the sun is so bright now here that, okay, you tend to, okay, can you see the contrails? Yeah, aircraft all over the place. So here it says M, dead pedal. Pedal has an aircraft design on it. These are the controls for the headlights and for the lights, fog lights and all that stuff. Now I'm just going to press a button here, and there you can see the steering wheel is moving, the seat is coming ahead, all the adjustments are happening, which is kind of nice because the memory function also remembers the position of the steering wheel of this car. Seats are next level comfortable, smooth, soft, and just, you know, not tiring you at all. 10-hour journeys in this car, you don't even feel a pinch. That's the level of comfort, and that's the reason why a BMW is a BMW. Well, that would technically be why a Mercedes is a Mercedes, but BMW is doing excellent comfort nowadays. You can see door pockets are big enough. Again, another high visibility jacket, 2 of those right there. These are the controls for the power window. These are obviously for the outside rear view mirror adjustment. Unlock the car, lock the car. This is the memory setting, and there you can actually control the co-driver seat from here. There I'm moving it. Yeah. In fact, you know what? Check that. I'm taking it all the way behind. Under thigh support is never an issue because I can actually adjust the under thigh support so easily. Yeah, that's good. In fact, there are a slew of optional bits available on this car. In fact, heads-up display is optional, which is there in this particular car, of course. And it says Harman Kardon audio system is absolutely fantabulous. Really very nice. Let's get inside. which means that firstly I will turn off the indicator. Yep. And here I can keep the key of the vehicle. The thing is, there's a 12-volt charging socket. There is a regular USB here. In fact, it gets heating and cooling function as well for the cup holders, and both the cup holders have a separate button for this, so that is also very cool. Love the attention to detail. You know why BMW is so good? Because in this age of touch and all that nonsense, BMW still offers you physical controls. It also offers you iDrive controller. It does all that and more, resulting in very ease of use for this 12.3 inch screen. This is also 12.3 inch. This is also 12.3 inch. There's a glove box right here, which is not that big. It's actually small. I would have loved it if it was bigger, but no, it's kind of small. It just doesn't get the job done for me personally speaking. There's some storage space here along with the USB-C charging socket, which also connects to the car. So it's got Apple CarPlay, it's got Android Auto connectivity. Both work wirelessly, and when you connect Android Auto now, it also shows you navigation data in the heads-up display, whose quality is next level. It's got road sign detection, it's got all those ADAS functions which we'll talk about later. Here you get an auto-dimming mirror, light placement here on the top. In fact, here you get a mirror and a light. Same is the case here as well. But the problem is this car does not come with a sunroof, which is optional. You can get the Sky Lounge, which has ambient lighting there as well. Talking about ambient lighting, this car has got 11 colors for the ambient lighting only. It could have done with more colors for sure. This is a crystal glass gear lever with X written on the inside. It illuminates at night. It looks absolutely fantastic. Look at the knurled finishing of this dial. Okay, these are the buttons to operate various functions, and this is the engine start button. This is for the camera function, parking sensors, traction control. These are for the drive modes, hill descent control, auto hold function, electric parking brake. Very neatly organized, absolutely fantastic. This is a joy to use. The system is crisp, very crisp. Okay, check this out. When I'm operating this, I can just, do it very quickly because I get into the car function and there's so many things. There's something known as experience mode. So here I just want to get into well-being and I start it. Okay, here, listen to this. Yeah, gesture control works for the most part. Sometimes it doesn't work. By the way, I just did an audio test. Audio quality is absolutely phenomenal. So it's something to similar. Oh God, stop moving your fingers faster. It's very similar to what we've seen in Mercedes cars. So here you can actually change stuff and then, calm yourself. Yeah, so there is this mode which helps you change the background music depending on your mood and stuff. So that's also kind of cool, similar to what we've seen in Mercedes cars. Navigation is just next level. It's very nice indeed. And then obviously it's very easy to browse. So I can get into the settings and then you can see it is super quick, super fast and super smooth. Again, very similar to what we have seen in other BMW cars. In fact, this is also very similar to what we have seen in other BMW cars. You've got navigation data in the center. If I press this BC button, I can browse through that, okay, which is showing me total distance covered. It is also showing me, how much power and torque is being consumed. G-force meter is also there, so which song is being playing and all that. Very easy to use, fantastic. Steering feels nice. It gets the heating function, but when you turn on the heating, you don't know it. Okay, it will not illuminate here. It will only tell you steering wheel heating activated or deactivated. So you have to keep an eye out there. Paddles work fantastically well. Very nice to use as well. These are the controls for the cruise control as well as ADAS function, like adaptive cruise control. These are for the audio system, of course. And these are the controls for the wipers. Okay, wipers work really very nicely. And look at the speed of those wipers. Automatic headlights, automatic wipers. All that is there in this car. In fact, these are the controls for the indicators, and you know what? Things are fantastic in terms of ergonomics. This is for the driver drowsiness detection and for the other ADAS functions. It can actually see if you're planning to sleep or you're going to sleep any moment. Cameras are just next level in this car. Check this camera out, okay? Now, the thing is that you've got multiple views and all. You can keep changing the view like that. Yeah. What an amazing camera with the bird's eye view. In fact, it does this automatic camera switching as well, which is just next level. Let's get into reversing assistant. There. See, reversing assistant will replicate your movement, what you have done in the front with the rear as well. Look at this turn. Obviously, it's got self-park, it's got all that and more. So, really loaded, tech-loaded car. End of route reached shortly. We're just going to shut this. Camera is amazing. I love the camera system on this car. It's just next freaking level. It's got dual zone climate control air conditioning system. Very easy to use. The display is just amazing. Look at the finishing. Everything in this car is just high quality. Nothing cheap at all. This is also soft touch here. You press this button, you get into intelligent safety, which shows you all the ADAS functions. Here I get into reverse and check that mirror. As soon as I get into reverse, that mirror will also go down. So yes, plenty of attention to detail in this car and everything is easy to use. Thankfully, I've got a physical control control for volume control. You can use it by gesture. There's touch. There's seat heating as well for the front seats. Cooling would be nice, but here in Germany, obviously heating is much more preferred. Level of quality and attention is just unbelievable in this car. Let me take you on. Next level audio quality, that's something you obviously expect from BMW. Let me just show you the various modes for this particular instrument cluster as well. The difference between comfort and sport isn't much, but the Eco Pro shows you something very distinguished, and then you get all the information there. It's telling me in 50 meters the speed limit will actually change to 100 kilometers per hour, so that helps you plan your speeding on the Autobahn, or rather driving on the Autobahn, because then you know exactly what are the speed limits which are coming up ahead. So yeah, amazing. Let's start driving right away. Alright, we are all set to go, which means turning off the air conditioning completely and we get into drive mode. I'm just going to keep it in Eco Pro for the moment. You know what you're seeing right ahead of you. Yes, that is a Swift. So basically this car might weigh 2200 kgs, but you really do not feel that weight at all, which is kind of surprising. I mean, how does it manage to keep its weight in check? Well, BMW only knows how they manage that. Driving in the city, you realize it's a very easy car to drive because the steering is actually light enough, but it does weigh up well at high speed, so it becomes very communicative in that regard. Only thing is, feel and feedback could be slightly better, but it's a very direct steering wheel. The only problem is that there's a big, like all of a sudden, like it snaps like that, and you realize that from less weight to more weight, it goes in a blink of an eyelid. So that could have been smoothened out. It could be more linear, just like the engine, which is very linear. Now here in Germany, the X6 comes with a lot of engine options. Actually, mainly they say that this car has 3 engine options. The M40i, okay, or the 40i, which can be given in that M trim as well. Okay, that is also available in India. This 30D is not available in India, which is kind of surprising because diesel car sales account for a lot of volumes for BMW in India as well, especially in SUV segment. I think the X5 sells really well with diesel, of course, and this being the coupe version of the X5 should have got the diesel. But you know what? This car actually costs around 24 lakhs more than the X5. Yeah, you're paying that premium just for the looks. But there's only one variant on offer, the 40i, 1.25 crores on-road Mumbai. However, you can also pay double that amount to get the X6M, which is priced as 2.5 crores on-road Mumbai. Yeah, so that is quite a bit expensive as well. So the thing is that this is a 3-liter straight 6 diesel engine, which is very smooth, it's very refined, and it is quite punchy as well. In fact, it produces 265 horsepower, which is decent, but it's amongst the least powerful of the X6 lineup. This car is the slowest amongst all the X6s which are available, also the slowest in terms of top speed. And now, since I'm getting onto this road, it is time that I actually get it into sport mode. Here we are into sport mode, gearbox into manual, Autobahn, and off we go. Top speed claimed is, well, they claim that this car will reach a top speed of 230 kilometers per hour. There's a bike which is flying. Let's see what it does right now. So I'm full onto the throttle. Very heavy right foot I have. You can notice that the power delivery is very linear. Performance is also very linear. It goes through the gears very quickly. You don't even realize when it's shifting through the 8-speed gearbox. I'm just going to change this thing right now to so that I can show you. Okay, let's get into the right lane. And that guy's trying a top speed run. Here you can see I'm flat out on the throttle. We are doing 200 kilometers per hour right now, 210. Will this break BMW's claimed top speed run? No, it will not, because restriction starts in around 100 meters, but you saw it absolutely flew. The performance is breathtaking for a diesel engine with a car which weighs 2200 kgs. So all of us had to slow down. You know, the ADAS system is so advanced. It was showing me this car, rather this motorcycle, in my display, telling me that okay, there's something in your line of sight, because obviously it's got very nice ADAS functions. Okay, we're just going to come into the slower lane because speeds are dropping. So they dropped the speed from no restriction to 120, then 180, 60, and now we are getting into a 40 zone because there's a big fat turn around here. So we have to go swiveling through to get onto that particular road on the top. Now the good thing is that diesel engine performance obviously is good, but the mileage is also great. So when you drive it in the city, it will give you more fuel efficiency, because on the Autobahn, when you're going flat out like the way I was doing, obviously mileage is going to suffer, and then you're going to get around 7 to 8 kilometers per liter. Otherwise, on an average, it gives you around 10 to 11 kilometers per liter, which is decent enough. This car produces 620 Newton meters of torque between 2000 to 2500 RPM, making it very grunty in terms of the torque rush. And okay, now let's see, we are joining a new road. We just have to join the left one actually. And will this be de-restricted? I will get a notification here on the instrument cluster immediately. That is how beautiful the instrument cluster is. De-restriction starts in 250 meters, which means, let me see if I can get manual onto the gearbox. Here we downshift, downshift, downshift. Okay, and 3, 2, 1, and we are de-restricted. And we are re-restricted. So no, we are not. We are still de-restricted. Actually, that is for trucks and for rainy conditions. They have a different speed limit here in Germany. You can see it's saying 100. That is only when the road is wet, and the road is not wet at the moment, which means we can fly. Only thing is, this car needs to fly out of my path. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to wait for him to pass. The thing is, this particular section of the Autobahn seems to be very crowded at the moment. Even though this is 3 lane, even on 2 lanes, they make you fly. Okay, this is 2 lane now. Still, they do not put a speed limit, because that is the level of trust they have with people driving in Germany, that they will always overtake from the left, even when they are doing it at 180 kilometers per hour like we are doing at the moment. So 230 kilometers per hour is the claimed top speed. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 8.2 seconds, which is fast enough. The brakes are really very nice and strong, but you know, they get a bit grabby when you're coming to a complete halt. So that last last minute braking could be slightly better and smoother in this car. So everyone is like taking it easy today. I think it's a vacation for everyone right now. Now paddle shifters are quite useful here, because obviously you can use them to shift gears as well. But somehow, does it give you manual control of gears? Let me see. No, it does not. It's upshifting. Okay, red line comes in at around 5000 RPM, which is quite good from diesel standards, of course. However, BMW also sells an off-road package for this car, wherein they will give you some off-road bits, and they will also put under your underbody protection, and they'll give you a differential and all that, mechanical differential and all that, so you can take the car more off-road seriousness. Okay, now again we are going flat out. You can hear the wind noise is not that much in this car. The only thing is the tire noise gets a bit loud at high speeds, because those tires are massive, and those massive grippy tires are needed because of the kind of speeds which we can do. Look at the way this car is absolutely flying. It's a mile muncher of sorts. It can gobble up the kilometers without any hesitation. There are 3 drive modes on offer. There's Eco Pro, which surprisingly keeps shutting the car whenever it gets an opportunity, and there is no button for turning on and off the stop start system, which is kind of surprising. There's a comfort mode for comfortable driving, and there's the sport mode which you're driving in right now, which is more sporty, wherein it will obviously pull the engine to higher revs, and then it will also make the dampers sportier. So this one is not having air suspension. This one is having adaptive dampers with coil springs. Okay, because this is the M trim, sort of, not the full thing, but the cutting M. Okay, in the X line trim though, they have got air suspension in this car, and then obviously in the X line trim with air suspension, you can raise or decrease the ride height and all that stuff, although there is no issue with terms of ground clearance here. So there are a couple of bikes which have blocked the path right now. Everyone is moving out of the way, and now we have to also exit this particular road, because I think we have to swivel around and go somewhere else. I love the way the overall composure is there, the level of grip. Just see how it just balances itself. It tracks flat, absolutely flat through a fast corner, and that is the beauty of this car. Those big tires are not for show, although I think they are for show, but they also offer you a ton of grip, and in a very fantastic fashion. Here we are at a signal. Okay, the engine is pin drop silent at lower speeds. So this car has got a single turbocharger. They also have an option of 4 turbochargers. What? Yeah, the same 2993cc engine with 4 turbochargers. Okay, their engine getting vocal because we're in manual mode at the moment. Okay, so that same engine which we are driving right now with 4 turbochargers is known as the M50D, which produces 400 horsepower and goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 5.2 seconds, which is blisteringly quick. This one has a lower top speed. Every other variant has a top speed of 250 kilometers per hour, which is absolutely maddening, I would say. Body roll is there. Obviously, it's well contained somehow, so you don't feel that roll as much. And now we are back onto a de-restricted section of the Autobahn, which means here we go. Attempt number 5 to hit the top speed. I've actually hit the top speed many times because I've been driving this car since 12-15 days. Honestly, I'll tell you what, the ride quality is very good on good roads. On bad roads, especially on Italian countryside roads, you can feel the suspension not being comfortable. So it is on the stiffer side at lower speeds. And there, Skoda is going to spoil our party. Although we're not very sure where he wants to be because he's like in the middle of the lane right now. Okay, come out. Yes, don't come in, come out. And off we go. So we are 37 kilometers straight to our destination right now, which means we should be able to hit our top whack without much of an effort. And there it shifts gears. It shifts so smoothly, you can never ever realize when a gear shift is happening. That is the level of smoothness it has to offer. Unbelievably quick this 8-speed gearbox is, which happens to be a torque converter, yet it shifts gears with such utter smoothness and precision as well. I think I saw this cyclist before, or someone else is also carrying a cycle today. Anyways, downshift. Honestly, these drive modes now, they alter a few things like the dampers, the engine, the gearbox, the steering feel as well. And for the most part, I do like the steering feel. I think it could have been slightly better, but then I always expect a lot more from BMW, and obviously they're going to give a lot more in the coming days because this car will get an update. And then I think they're going to carry forward the engines, but they're going to put hybrid tech in almost every variant because that's the way to go for better efficiency. Talking about efficiency, this car has a tank of I think almost 80 liters, so you can really go long, like really long. And now I'm very confident we are going to hit our top speed now because the road here seems very clear, and there I can see in the maps as well. Ahead also I can see that tire noise is a bit too much, which I can feel below me right now, especially at higher speeds, and that wind velocity also coming through. And yep, come on. It's just an unbelievable cruiser of sorts. It just gobbles up the miles. Yes, I have to admit the X5 is better because it's more practical, and yet it can do everything which the X6 can. The X6 has a slightly more sportier flavor to it, wherein it manages to put a slightly bigger smile on your face, especially when you're driving through a big fat road trip, because that's where you realize that it's a very comfortable car. It doesn't tire you out, and yet it can go at insanely crazy pace like the way we are doing at the moment. And then I just want to let the gearbox do its stuff by putting this into manual mode, and here we go. 223 kilometers per hour, 4 kilometers per hour. Like I told you, top speed is 230 kilometers per hour. Will this car do more than that? I bet it will. You can hear some amount of sound which is coming. That is actually the sound from the lane markers to play music to wake you up in case you fall asleep. Can you believe that such a road which is having these kind of curves is actually de-restricted without speed limits? Imagine the M version of this car on this particular road. Trust me, 305 kilometers per hour, not an issue. It will do it in a flash without blinking an eyelid. Now, I think we'll straighten out a bit. This curve is very long. Rather, this sweeperish sort of a corner is long. It keeps going on and on and on and on. Whew. It seems fun, it is fun, but it requires all your attention. It needs all your focus on the road with your hands really grabbing onto the steering wheel like OMG, and that's the only way you will be able to drive on the German Autobahn. That's how it is de-restricted. My ears are heating more than the engine, of course, and I know aerodynamics are not the best with this car, yet it still manages to cut through air without much of an issue. So that is the level of overall balance from the BMW X6. The only thing is that they should have offered the diesel engine in India. A diesel would be just so much better, which I can feel right now. The only thing is the slowest. Every other X6 variant is actually going from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in under 6 seconds. Yeah, that is how quick it is. Under 6 seconds. This one is the one which takes the longest at around 8.2 seconds, in spite of the fact that it has a big fat torque which comes in at 620 Newton meters. So turbo lag is very well contained. Somehow they've managed the whole system fantastically well, and then it's got anti-roll bars as well, which obviously disengage when you're on a straight and all that stuff for better high-speed stability and all. So it remains glued to the road because I have driven the X5M competition in India, and that car does 250 kilometers per hour without any issue whatsoever. Okay, here we go again. Just listen to the sound of this engine. So I was telling you about the ADAS system in this car, which is very advanced. It can actually read the road signs, and then it can automatically set the speed, and then it can automatically alter the speed basis the road signs. So you don't have to do anything. Only thing is, if you leave the steering wheel for more than around 30, 40, almost a minute, I guess, then firstly around 30-second mark it will start blinking yellow here. After that it will start blinking red in the this thing also, heads up display. Very nice graphics. And then if you still don't hold the steering wheel, it will start to automatically brake as well. So yeah, that safety system is also there in this car to ensure that you don't fall asleep. But you know what, since we are stuck here right now, I'm just going to do one thing. I'm just going to put adaptive cruise control. I've set the speed at 140 kilometers per hour. Okay, 145 kilometers per hour I've set it. The thing is, when it senses a road sign now, it will automatically tell you the suggested speed. All you have to do is press this set button, it will go at that speed. So here, see, it is automatically going to apply brakes, 145 kilometers per hour braking, because that car is coming in a line of path. And then as soon as that car goes away, it will automatically get back up to speed. Fantastic? Yes, it is. Now the thing is that there's a sort of a curve which is happening, so I just leave my hand here and you can see the car is actually turning the steering wheel very nicely and smoothly. And since my hand is off the steering wheel, these yellow lines have started to come on. Okay, and then beyond a point that they will start getting very irritating, so forget that. We'll just get into the throttle and forget this cruise control system. I'll just cancel it at the moment and we are going to go again. That's the top speed, 230 kilometers per hour as per the claim from BMW. But this car will go and hit 238 kilometers per hour. That's it. We have hit the top speed. It will go 239 kilometers per hour, slight down slope. That is the top speed of this BMW. Yes, it will not go any further, but at least it goes faster than what the Germans claim that it can go. So guys, this was a very much fun high-speed run of the BMW X6 on the Autobahn. I hope you really enjoyed this vlog because I'm so enjoying this drive right now. In fact, I had to reach my destination in 40 minutes, but I'm going to reach it in 20 minutes thanks to these roads. So the lesson from this video is, firstly, the BMW X6 is a fantastic car. Diesel is unbeatable. And thirdly, when you have de-restricted roads, people are more efficient. They reach to work on time and they do a lot more work and they are more happy. And that is a big bombshell, a discovery which you have done today. So Germany is the way to go, or de-restrict speeds in your country as well, which is never going to happen because Mercedes, BMW, Audi only make their performance cars because they can be driven on German roads, and if there are no de-restricted German roads, there's no point of those cars. Until those cars exist, this road is going to exist without speed limit. So right now I'm driving at 100 kilometers per hour. My hands are not touching anything, my legs are not touching anything. 80 signboard has come and it will automatically reduce the speed. I am not doing anything. It read that speed. It is automatically reducing the speed because it understood that there is a speed limit. So the car is like next level in terms of autonomous driving. You don't have to do anything. You just have to be present here. The car does the rest and it does it so smoothly. Obviously in the display also you can see a lot of interesting bits. You can see it in the heads-up display as well. So this is next level ADAS functions. And when we say ADAS is not needed for India, well, true and false. ADAS is what is the sound? Okay, it says that it thinks I'm sleepy right now, so it was telling me you need to wake up there. It's picking up speed on its own. That is how it's done. What a beautiful system. So ADAS in India will not work as well because our lane markings are not that great, but here it works fantastically well. I'm not kidding. I can leave the steering wheel and the car will automatically drive in a lane because it's able to read the lanes which have been marked so beautifully well, and then after a point it realizes, no Faisal, no, you can't have so much comfort in a car. You need to hold the steering wheel, and that's the reason why I'm getting this warning there. Noren is pointing, I need to take a ride. In fact, we just filled up fuel right now. We have to fill fuel again because at those speeds the car has been gobbling up fuel like no one's business. When I was driving 200 kilometers per hour in sport mode, I think it was consuming, and I kid you not, almost 5x the fuel what it regularly does in regular driving. And that's one of the reasons why countries are not having de-restrictions on their road, because they will face the fuel crisis, of course. If you like this vlog, make sure to give it a thumbs up. That's a like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Bye bye.